Putzin about with Touhou 14. I'm coming back to this game after playing it yesterday, which I actually didn't intend to do because I've beaten this game in the past. I seriously have. I am not gonna let this game beat me and hold me down. I am going to beat this game, and I'm going to use a slightly better character. Because last time I used Sakuya. I've beaten this game in the past. Unfortunately, the problem with that happens to be she is a points character for someone who is an expert at this game, which I unfortunately am not. Because if we see right here, I used this one. Her spell card steals points, turns every bullet item into points and does no real damage, and her focused shot also steals points. I'm gonna play as Remu, particularly this one, because this is a high damage build, and her ability, her natural ability, is she has a smaller hitbox. So allow me to get started, like so. And once again, the first stage on these games is exceptionally simple, so I'm not anticipating much of a problem until I get to at least stage 3, really. Because stage 2, not that much of a problem either. It does introduce a new type of fighting style, but the boss listed there is not all that difficult. You see what I'm doing? Again, the main part about this game is, depending on how many items you collect, you get a bonus to the points, as well as the power items, and if you collect enough, you get bonuses in the form of bomb pieces and life pieces, depending on how many you collect. So you want to get as many on the screen as possible before you head to the top to collect them all, unless you just have a bunch of them on your person. And that is the first mid-boss. It's Cherno the Ice Fairy. She is not a threat in any of the Touhou games, actually. She's sort of the reoccurring Baka or Fool character that has been around since Touhou 6 embodiment of Scarlet Devil. And the main reason she shows up here is because we are currently on the Misty Lake, as you saw at the start of the stage, and that is where she lives. The icy, well, as an ice fairy, she likes to stick around during winter, but she doesn't disappear like most fairies of a season do. That's never been explained. And now we're once again at the first boss, Wakasagi Hime, a mermaid. The first Western-style demon monster-type character in the Touhou world. Unfortunately, she's also a first-stage boss on normal, so she is not actually going to be a problem. It's a very simple first non-skip pattern at the start there. And her first spell sign, wide gaps, very easy to get through. As such. First spell card down, and now we're on to the second part of the fight. And in case you're wondering, a spell card is effectively an extra life bar that the boss has, where they invoke an ability called a spell card, hence the name. That goes into Touhou lore, where effectively since yokai, like Waka here, are not allowed to fight and eat humans anymore, they developed the spell card system to allow them to fight humans on equal terms. Unfortunately, this system was developed by Remu, right here, which means it's kind of biased towards people like her, but yeah, that's just how the game works. And Wakasagi Hime is down. We are now on to the second stage, where we fight a Dullahan, as you can kind of tell by the title card there. And now we get introduced to lasers. Unfortunately, it's not exactly anything to write home about just yet. This game doesn't get difficult until about late stage 3, early stage 4. Well, it doesn't get that difficult unless you want to actually collect everything. I know better than that, because I'm not good enough to get through this. And here's the mid-boss, Sekabanki. You learn that later. A good theme, but unfortunately not a difficult boss. As we just easily step through there. And this is her little ability. As a Dullahan, her head likes to fly around and do headless things. Nothing that interesting, I'm afraid. And if you see what I'm doing right here, I am doing what's called grazing. That is, if you get next to an attack without actually getting hit, if your character's sprite is next to the bullet, you graze. And the more you graze, the higher these blue point values go up. So it is imperative, if you're going for a high score, to graze as much as you possibly can. Unfortunately, I tend to be a lot safer because I'm not that great at this game. So I typically only graze when I'm absolutely sure I won't have a problem, or if I'm feeling particularly daring. And that usually ends up biting me in the butt, as you might as well imagine. And we're now on to the second boss, once again, Sekabanki, and I'm going to take a drink real quick because I have water right here with me. And now let us begin. The main story, or the main part of this story, is a lot of these weaker yokai, like Sekabanki and Wakasagi Hime there, have suddenly gained power and daring, and are actually just going after humans, which is causing a problem for our main protagonist here, Renu. And it's our job to go, could you not? And that is precisely what we're doing here. And I kind of almost did more than I could chew because I'm an idiot. But I got through, so I'm good. And I have way too many bombs, and I love this person's theme song. And this is the only really difficult part, is because of the 5 heads that all shoot out AIM lasers. I can't believe I messed that up. I could knock myself into a corner and buggered off. Oh well. What you gonna do? Yeah, and you can knock off her heads to make that easier. I didn't do that, but I messed up anyway, so it's not like it's much of a problem. And here is her final spell card. Not that difficult, because all you need to do is avoid these aimed shots, which are quite easy to bait, as long as you follow her body, like so. And now, second bunch is down. On to the third stage. Has another really decent song. She just explained there that she just attacked the all-powerful Hakurai Maiden, which is Renu here, which is typically a bad idea, because lore-wise, the Hakurai Maiden is the strongest character in Gensokyo, the world that we're in. And the interesting part about this boss in this stage is it is once again a Western-style demon rather than the Eastern style, which is typically the standard for the Touhou world, as the boss here is a werewolf with a really good theme song. This game, in particular, probably has some of my favorite themes for the bosses. And as you can probably no doubt tell if you look at my previous video, I'm doing much, much better, there she is, compared to my previous run. But she actually has a couple patterns that do get really difficult, and I'm going to be quiet when I reach them. We're not actually there yet. Oh, somewhat. There we go. Not too difficult, but you can't sit in the back because they close in on you. And if you sit in the back, you are most likely going to trap yourself and take a hit, which is never a good thing. There we go. And once again, that's me trying to get as many of these items on the screen as possible before I run up to the top to collect the item. I believe it's about to start getting rather busy, if my memory serves me correctly. If I let these little fairies survive. Yep, here we go. In case you're wondering, those giant fairies up at the top there are known as sunflower fairies. because it looks like they're holding the sunflower. Ow! That was me messing up completely. Go me. I still have lots of lives, but as you can see, my bomb counter reset. And one thing to note in the Touhou world is if you die with a bomb, you did poorly. Because every time you die, your bombs refill. If you die with bombs still in your inventory, you did it wrong, because you can bomb as soon as you get hit to avoid the shot. That is called death bombing. And now we have entered the Kagero fight. Again, as per usual, it doesn't start difficult, but that's gonna change quite quickly. Quiet time. And that's an example of a death bomb, because I messed up severely and paid for it, but I bombed to save my life. That's another one because that was me messing up entirely. But alas, and that was me messing up again because I am doing poorly. Lovely. Oh well. I mean, that's not even one of her more difficult spell cards, and I balls it up. Oh well. Again, another easy neutral pattern, provided you're careful. And this is the one that's actually somewhat difficult, because if you're not careful, you'll get hit from the bottom. And since these bullets are slow, followed immediately by these quick ones, you can get in some serious trouble. As such. But here we have Kagero down, third stage done. On to the fourth, and now this is when the standard game actually starts to get difficult. And unfortunately, this is probably the only theme in the game I'm not a really huge fan of. Because it takes a while before it starts to get interesting. Unlike the others. But I don't mind the normal mobs all that much, as they are not too difficult to deal with, he says, after he messes up entirely. Oh well. And late stage card. But as I said, these stages now get really, really busy. I didn't have much of a approach in there. I've never really gotten past that part of this fight, or this stage, without using a bomb. Just like that. At least I have lots of bombs to back me up, so I got that going for me. Mid-boss. With curvy lasers. No one likes curvy lasers. Is that kind of too difficult? But then it's this one. Screw it, I'm just getting past it, bombing. I don't like this person. That was a nice, easy little pattern. Oh boy. I'm afraid I'm going to need to be a little bit quiet on this one. I believe those shots are aimed. It looks like. There we go. Which technically gives me a good chance to collect drop, like so. Yeah, actually, it was a lot easier than I remember it. I guess that's what happens when you figure out the pattern, eh? But now I have those guys to go with while fighting off this. Bombing. Yeah, that was just panicking. I don't know how to get past these without it, and now I actually have... Huh. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that worked. Amazing. And now we have gone past the Western demons, and now we're into the Eastern in the form of Tsukugamis, which are spirits brought to life from inanimate objects. In this case, these two sisters, they're playing instruments. I actually don't know what they are because I don't know music. But these instruments have come to life and they're causing trouble, and we are there to tell them to cut it out. Sorry for the quiet time, but once again... Alright, if I get that bomb, I actually have a lot of lives, so I am in good shape there. I actually have to stop time because I need to find these little patterns as they slowly glide around. There we go. Did better than I thought. So with so many lives, I'm actually doing better than I did yesterday because I have lots of bomb refill potential for bomb abuse, which is my favorite tactic because I am not good at these games. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to figure out just how to get past this spell card of hers without balls enough. All about find the patterns that you can get through when they slow down. That's not too difficult, but then we get to this one. I hope you like me having to pay attention to things coming up from the bottom while avoiding things she's shooting at me as well. Ah! Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. But hey, on the plus side, this means I don't need to worry about bombing, because one particular part about these games are spell bonuses. If you complete the game, or the spell card, without actually taking a hit, you get a score bonus. That doesn't happen very often with me, I'm afraid. And now we enter the interesting stage. It isn't all that difficult, but as you saw at the top, where it talked about Reverse Castle, a lot of this stage is upside down. So monsters spawn at the bottom and shoot up at the top, or they shoot at the top and shoot their bullets up, which then fall down, like so. Then we have these at the bottom, which shoot up at us, combined with these that shoot down. And this is basically the entire stage. Has a good theme to it, though. So I definitely can't hate on that one. Ah, good, I'm almost have more bombs again with these silly little aimed. Oh, it, guys. Oh. Yeah, that was a big mistake on my part, but hey, I got all my bombs back, so I'm happy there. Oh, and now we're at the mid-boss. I don't like this. And she is really, really bad. Later on, too, because she, well, one, does this. I am terrible at these. Looking at the bottom to see where bullets are. Almost. Before I... That's one thing I've never been a huge fan of in these games is basically the fact that bombs are still active for at least a moment after you have beaten the boss. Which has actually prevented me from getting a 1cc or a 1 credit clear on multiple occasions. Because it's like, yay, the boss is done! Oh, wait. Once again, I apologize about having to be quiet there, but having to find the open spot to avoid myself from getting hit is very important, and we're on to the 5th boss. This is going to get very weird, like, very weird. But I have 5 lives, almost 3 bombs. I'll probably get one after the initial part there. And this is Saija Kaijin. She has the ability to turn everything upside down. Hence the upside down castle. And she's going to do that to my screen. So she's going to require a lot of focus. And that is also a pain! Could have sworn I would have been able to get past that. So I don't get the bomb point. Oh well. Oh yeah! Now it's right is left, left is right. It gets worse. So my controls are reversed right now. At least my shoot button's the same. Alright, there we go. On to the next part. I'm seriously thinking about just bombing it because I don't like her. Yeah, death bombing it. I don't care. Alright, now up is down, or now right is left, and left is right. Only now I'm on the wrong side of the screen. Bonus failed. I know, this boss is terrible. What's really worse is the boss after her is the 6th and final boss. He's nowhere near as difficult as she is. And the only reason this boss is hard is because of all these weird patterns where she sends everything in the wrong direction. And then stuff like that happens, and then I bomb her because I'm mad. And I'm probably going to be bombing this one as well, because now she constantly swerves me up in the wrong... Like I said! The pattern itself isn't that difficult, because as you can see, my controllers staying the same. The only hard part is keeping my orientation during it. Especially when something like that is, which turns it mid, when it turns you mid movement, which can easily land you a hit. But 3 bosses, 2 bombs, final stage. I'm not going to be talking during the final boss, because I love her theme. It is my favorite in Touhou. And the stage theme isn't that bad either. And now I have 4 lives, a lot of bombs, so this is actually going to be quite... Really? I didn't get a lot of those, but can you blame me with the sudden speed changes? I love this theme though. Which is actually, I'm actually going to say that's probably my one complaint I have for this game, is it reuses this theme more times than most other games have done. Bombing. And while it is a good theme, they reuse it a bit too much, in my honest opinion. And the reason all these guys drop so many is, if you remember from the start, the more you collect, the more chances you are to get either a bomb piece or a heart piece. So with them dropping so many, now we're on to mid-boss, where I just say, I'm just gonna waste a bomb. I don't care. I want to get rid of Saija Kaijin because she is a terrible, terrible person to fight. Yeah, I had no idea. This is another thing, I've just never really gotten past without any real problems. But, 4 lives, 1.7 out of 8, I guess, spell cards, and we're on to the final boss, which is a midget. Well, technically she's called a Kibito, which is an inchling. I think Thumbelina with a Super Bowl on her head and a mallet in her hand. That is her. And that is the cause of the incident. That mallet in her hand is sort of like a wish granter that has side effects. She wanted to cause chaos, so she used the mallet, which for some reason gave weak yokai strength and turned inanimate objects into the spirits like we fought on stage 4. And now I'm going to be quiet for a while because I love her theme, Little Princess. I believe is the name. It tells you on the bottom there. Yep. Dwarf of Shiny Needles, Little Princess. Never said the names were amazing. But let's begin. Alright, part 1 down, and I get my bomb. Not a difficult pattern, but it speeds up, and you have to keep an eye on those little green things. Ah! Almost. That was my problem, I knew. Another problem. But now I have no bombs, but hey, if I die, I'm gonna get one. So I guess I got that going for me, which is nice. I don't know where her heart Danmaku comes from! But evidently it's enough to give me to smack me, and here we go with the next one. Yeah, there's a reason I'm never going to be on any high score lists. I looked away for 1 second, and that's what happens. Alright, I'm doing poorly here. And here's the problem. She has about 1 spell card left. I mean, on the plus side, final bosses like her are immune to... Oh, wait, no. Here we go. I can't shoot, so now I have to avoid what she throws at me. Which isn't too difficult on the fact these are aimed at you. But now I have those, and I have no means of... Oh, I can still bomb. But I highly doubt I'm gonna end up beating her anyway, as I've already messed up far too many times. Okay, I have 1 bomb to beat her final spell card. And I don't even have full power. Yeah, and here's the thing, you have to get near it, Actually, this is her almost final spell card. But you basically have to get near them to cause them to stop. Ah! And that's the end of that. So once again, I don't actually... Saw that. This ain't easy. So I can try again, but this is not a 1 credit clear, which for those of us in the shoot 'em up galleries don't count, or don't consider a true win. I'm going to hit it anyway though, because now I'm hell-bent on beating her. I don't care that I'm going to get technically the bad ending. I just want to get her beat. Especially because I'm so close, but so far, this is the final one. All these final spell cards get really evil really quickly. Like I said, luckily she's in her steeple, so hitting her isn't that difficult. Oh, by the way, they're also immune to bombs in this form. But even if I felt like using them, it wouldn't. The only thing it does is buy you some time. I really hope whoever watches this isn't an epileptic, because this is evil. See, like that. That's what I meant. I beat her, but I still got hit in the end. So, that was terrible. I beat her, but I'm gonna get the bad ending now. Lovely. See, this would not be happening if I had actually gotten a good one. So, bad ending. No credit clear. That's not going to happen. I'll just say yes. So I think that's going to be it for this attempt at Touhou 14, trying to get my 1 credit clear to clear my name. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, if you'd like, subscribe to me at twitch.tv/CaptainJudaism and follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/CaptainJudaism. And I'll start tweeting out when I start doing these. Thank you, and until next time.